What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Welcome back. I'm Sean.
And I'm Jen.
And today, we're going to talk about the deepest, most intense secret on the internet.
What?
Yeah, the deepest, like, that thing that everybody's Googling, trying to figure out why. Why this? Why that?
Why skinny jeans aren't in anymore?
Ooh, that's a good question. But no.
They fit into my boots so perfectly, and I finally was, able to deal with skinny jeans being a thing, because I was a bootcut girl. And now they're just not in anymore, and I don't know what to do. But wait, that's not what this vlog is about.
No. We gotta go back in time. No, what this vlog is gonna be about is, why are we called the side job?
The side job. That's a good question. Actually, that's a question we've gotten a little bit since we started this series. Everyone's kind of like, okay, so this is about relationships. It's about being creatives. It's about working together. Why are you called the side job? Like, what? And I understand. I understand the confusion. So I figured we should explain why we're called the side job. And it makes a lot of sense. So we have three main reasons. There may be some more reasons that we come up with as we talk, because this is only slightly scripted. But, I didn't know he was going to start with deepest, darkest secret on the internet. But we have three main reasons that we are called the side job. The first being, the most obvious one, I think. We have day jobs.
We do. we actually do. Surprise!
I am a school teacher.
And I work at a bank.
We have day jobs, so anything that we do, like this podcast or vlog series, like our band, like noise complaint, like rhythm theory, like being an artist or a writer, that's all side jobs. So, the side job podcast, because this podcast is our side job.
Wow, it's just laid right out there for
Laid
them.
right out there. That's probably the biggest, most obvious reason. And a lot of people probably don't assume that I have a day job, because I do so many creative things. I've actually had people very surprised when they see me on Instagram tap dancing. They're like, wait, you have a day job? And I'm like, yeah, how do you think I pay the bills as a tap dancer? That's not a thing.
You think that the people listening and watching thought that we had those jobs as our main jobs if they didn't know?
Maybe.
Like,
I mean, I assume the YouTubers I watch, that's their job. But there are, there's one YouTuber I watch, she's a management consultant during the day, and then a YouTuber in her spare time. And so usually this stuff is a side job. Sometimes you get lucky and you're Captain Sparkles and you just get to do this for a living. And it's fine. But yeah, it's a side job. But it's one that we value a lot, and that we would like to turn into our main job. And how we do that? Subscribers. Yeah. Shameless plug.
I was about to say cheap plug.
Shameless plug. All right. Well, that's the main reason. Reason number one. Reason number two is kind of a little bit bigger. It's a deeper reason. The first one was just the obvious one. This is deeper. Okay. So we work together in all of our side projects.
Yes.
In all of these side jobs and side projects. Noise complaint, even rhythm theory. He's not a cast member of rhythm theory, but you do all the videos and you're always at rehearsal and you're filming and running sound. Yeah. I was like, wait, what's the word for audio engineering? You're filming and running sound at every single show. You're always helping me with art for my books or for my album art. And I usually make those, but he puts an artist's eye on it, and that's important. You make the backtracks for my songs, and he's constantly working with me on my projects, and I'm helping him with his. We were just literally doing that this morning. He's starting to sell his art online, and I was helping with ideas, but also he's like, hey, give me your opinion. These are really, really helpful. I look at it and I go, it's great.
Also, when I'm working on things online, trying to sell things, I will put this out there. I am the worst at English. Writing out stories or writing out descriptions of things. It looks like a fifth grader was like, I like crayons. I like to eat food. No, so she definitely helps me out on that. And then whenever I'm out doing photo gigs and things like that, a lot of times she's my assistant.
I hold the reflector. I'm really good at holding the reflector.
One day we were sitting there and she's like, so what do? I said, you know how you can angle it and you can see the bright light hit the person? I was like, yeah. I was like, aim it and blind him in the face, and you nailed it. And she's
And then
like,
I aimed it at him and blinded him in the face just for fun.
I didn't specify who to blind, but no.
Yeah, but
So,
also I posed the model, and that's a
huge.
big thing. That's a lot more difficult than people make it out to be. And as someone who has modeled and as a dancer, I felt like I could provide that for you, because you're focused on the framing, you're focused on the lighting, you're focused on everything. You don't need to be focused on posing the model. And yes, models should know how to pose themselves, but at the same time, when you're working with non-professionals, a lot of times they need help. And so I come in and help with that.
Oh, yeah.
So we're constantly working together. Constantly working together. Every single project, both of us have hands on it. And so since this vlog series / podcast is about being married as creatives and being in a relationship and, you know, how we get through certain things, I think a big part of it is the fact that we're married, we're in a relationship, and we're working together 24/7. And that gives us such a unique perspective on relationship advice. You know, I've been in relationships where I've worked with people before, and it has never been this dynamic, and it has never been this respectful, I want to say. And so we really cracked the code on how to do it. Even when we fight, it's a respectful fight about things. Like, I really liked one font. He really liked another font. And I will always win this argument because I have better taste in fonts.
My typography skills goes with my English skills. I'm just like, it looks cool, and she's like, stop using Comic Sans. And I'm like, but it's nice looking. And she goes, it is not professional. Get it off your resume.
Oh my goodness. But I can bring my eye to fonts, but he brings his eye to color.
Yes.
Because I am the worst with color, because I actually don't really like color all that much. So I'm like, I don't really know about, like, should we use red? And then he does it and he goes, okay, but look at how I blended it. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't suck. So we really do work together on everything. We complement each other, and we find a way to even have disagreements when it comes to working on these projects. Even if the disagreement is, hey, why didn't you do your part for this project? We found a way to do that respectfully.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that translates so much into how couples / polyamorous relationships can interact with each other in even a not working together kind of way. Just always coming at somebody with, like, it's not, hey, why didn't you vacuum today? It's, hey, so, like, I keep reminding you to vacuum and you keep not doing it. Is it because you want me to do it? Like, is this a conversation we need to have?
Oh, yeah. Instead
of, like, coming at somebody with an attack, which when you work together, do not attack your coworkers.
It's not a good look to attack your coworkers.
And it just, you don't want animosity in the workplace and in your relationship. And when both of those share a space, don't do it. So that's a big reason why we're called the side job. Also, I apologize if you hear a cat meowing. That would be Bento, and there's no getting around that. He's just upset.
He just wants his brother to come play.
He wants his brother to play with him, and T'Challa is sleeping, and so he's just gonna cry.
Yeah. But working together, like, on all these side projects and together, like you said, it's great because there's so many aspects of it that we constantly are growing together. Like, there's things that we've done, like doing music together.
Yeah.
I have a DJ background where I mixed music, things like that, you know, at halls or like at the skating rink, things like that. I didn't really have any interest at that point in ever being in a band. But then
Which surprises me so much, because I've always wanted to be in a band, so I kind of just assume everybody does. So when he said I have zero interest in being in a band, I was like, what are you?
But the thing is that working together on these projects, I got to see her doing her music, and then I discovered, wait, I can use my experience making music and mixing music to help make your backtracks. So we're learning that there's different aspects of our background and stuff that we can use to make these side jobs work.
Yeah, like, he wanted a way to sell his art that was unique, but also very low maintenance. And I was like, wait a minute, I know how to publish books. Why don't we make blank journals and put your art as the cover? And I already knew how to do that because I've self-published before. I think I just said self-published before. And I'm going to want to remember that I said that, which is why I said it twice, because I think that's funny. It sounds like a Pokemon. Publish.
It's a little purple guy.
Sorry, I talked about Pokemon a lot today, apparently. But yeah, I've self-published before, so I knew how that worked. I knew how to format it, and I knew what a blank book should look like because I write. So I have a lot of blank journals. So we were able to put that together. helping him sell his art and helping me make my music. And it's just such a symbiotic relationship. And it could bleed into our relationship in a bad way, but because we figured out how not to let that happen, that's really where the advice comes in. So calling it the side job is really an homage to the fact that we work together with all of our side jobs, and that's why we know so much about all of this, about relationships, you know?
Oh, yeah. And working together has opened my mind to my art, even. You know, like, there's aspects of things that I've seen you make, and how, oh my gosh, how she choreographs stuff is insane, like how she hears the music, and I'm like, wait, that's how I see art.
I hear music the way he sees art or anything in life. I hear music in a way that's very deconstructed, and he sees things in life, people, things, places. He sees them as lines and shapes, very deconstructed. So we're like really complementary in such a way. But this video is not about bragging about how cool we are.
It's about working together and finding that the fact that everything that we do together is a side job of another thing.
Yeah.
Everything that we've done, like my art helps our albums, or your album art covers has helped me make books, and just back and forth. Yeah. Everything is a side project of another thing.
Yeah.
It's like a 20-sided dice.
Wow. Way to give it that like nerdy reference too. I don't know why my 20-sided dice is this big. I'm holding it like it's a basketball.
I just went like this, like it was a basketball.
Like, here's a 20-sided die as big as Sean's head, which is gigantic, by the way.
That would be a huge die. Like,
see, I can make fun of that because you do.
I have a giant head. I'm not even going to lie. It's huge.
But that's the other thing. The third big reason, that really leads us into it. The third big reason that I really enjoyed this podcast vlog thing that we're doing, being called the side job, is because I really feel like that's what a marriage is. So I have my day job. You have your day job. Most people have their day job, right? And never mind the fact that we have 70,000 other jobs, but we have our day job, right? Yeah. And at the end of the day, we come home. We can't just like treat our marriage like it's just gonna always be there and we never have to work at it. It's like, it's kind of like a plant. You gotta water it. You gotta bring it to the sun. You gotta make sure it doesn't get too much sun or too much water. It's kind of a job. And I don't mean to treat your marriage like a job, like the kind that you hate. I mean, treat your marriage like a job that you love and that you want to move up in and that you want to grow within. You know, like you want a promotion at work, you gotta work for it.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
If I want to become teacher of the year, I gotta work for that. I'm never gonna get that, but you gotta work for those things. And if you want your marriage to be fulfilling and lasting, you gotta work for it. So marriage itself is quite the side job. You gotta think like there's always things that you need to do, and you always have to be respectful of each other, kind of like in a co-working situation. Two people have one thing that they're working on, this relationship, this marriage. Each person can bring something unique to the project, like at work. Like I'm working with somebody on starting an esports team.
Oh, that's cool.
I can bring my nerdy history and my knowledge of cons and my absolute addiction to gaming to the table, and the other person has hosted clubs at schools before. I've never done that. We are bringing those two things to the table to be successful at starting an esports club. In a marriage, you have this thing that you want to nurture, that you want to grow within, that you want to be this wonderful thing for you. I bring something different to this table than you do. And we both bring baggage and past experiences, and we bring skills and knowledge, and we also bring kind of drawbacks, I guess. And we need to learn how to work together to make this thing successful. This thing that is our relationship, our marriage. And it's very much like a work environment, but not the kind you hate. You know what I mean? It's hard. You don't want to call a marriage a job because most people have a negative connotation about a job. I guess I see it that way because I love my jobs.
It's more like a career. Like you're in a career that you love, in a field that you love, and that's what you're working towards. You're working towards that really good retirement plan.
Yeah. And so you really want to think think about your relationship like it's a career that you want to grow in, like it's a job that you want to give your all to and really just excel at, and see the company grow, not just personal growth. Because if I come to this thing that we want to grow, that we want to be successful, and I only want to grow within it, I don't care if you grow. I just want to be great. I want to be successful. I want to get everything I need out of this. That's not gonna work for a company or a relationship. I have to want you to succeed as well. I have to want the marriage itself to succeed.
Oh yeah.
So I bring what I have to the table, and I'm open and honest about what I'm really not good at. Like dishes. I suck at those.
And me in English. So yeah.
To every project, to every job, to every aspect of our marriage, we have to be honest with each other about what we either can't do or won't do. And you got to do that at your job too. You got to be honest and say like, hey, I can't do this, or I really am uncomfortable doing this. Is there something else I can do? But I want to help the team succeed. I want to see this company grow. That should be the mindset in a career. You want the company to grow, and you want to grow as a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
The same thing applies to a marriage. You want the marriage to be successful, and you want to be successful as a part of it. But if you're only thinking about you being successful in this relationship and leaving me behind, that's not going to work.
No, because then that's going to fail. That project
will fail. That any side project will fail if only one person is invested in it, and that one person is invested for themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, that's two things. Both people need to be invested, and they need to be invested for and with each other.
Yes.
Yeah, I took two things and kind of combined them. But yeah, so both of us have to be able to be invested and bring what we have to this table. Both of us have to want this marriage to work. So it's a job.
Yeah.
It's kind of a side job. It's not the job that pays the bills. It's the job that causes the bills.
Wouldn't it be awesome if like marriage paid the bills? Like, how would that work?
This podcast, subscribe. That's literally how. But,
oh yeah, that's literally it.
This thing causes bills. I think we just decided to spend like $300 on something we need for the house that we wouldn't need if we didn't buy this house and we weren't married. So yes, it causes the bills, right?
Way to go, us.
Way to go. No, but there has to be that, not just a give and take, but everybody wanting to water the plant. It's not about, well, I want to water the plant so that my plant is great. It's not about, well, I want to water the plant, but you're not allowed to water the plant. Or like, only you're going to water the plant. My water is trash. I'm not going to water this plant, but I will reap the benefits and take the plant home. Suddenly marriage is a plant, and that's so funny because I have 0 green thumb skills. Like I have killed every plant I've tried to like. I'm good with animals. I keep animals alive, but I cannot keep a plant alive. Every plant in this house is fake. Every single one.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of work in all aspects, but you have to learn how to separate each one of the projects.
That too.
So that way one doesn't suffer from another one. Like
that too.
Like you said, working together, if there's like a dispute in one of the things.
Like if we have a dispute over music, we don't want it to affect our art project.
Yeah. Or our home life. We have to know how to separate it. Like when we hang out on the couch and watch something, can't be like, I guess we'll watch whatever song you want. I mean, I'm sorry, whatever show you want to watch. You know what I mean? There's no shade. There's nothing like that. We understand that that's a work conversation.
There has to be a separation, and that can actually apply to just a marriage, not even working together, just a relationship. That can apply there. If you're fighting over, unfortunately this happens a lot, and we've talked about it in a previous episode, if you're fighting over money, that's a big fight. It's an important fight to have if you're gonna have a fight about it. Like that's an important moment to voice your opinion, to come to a resolution about the disagreement.
Oh yeah.
But you don't want that to affect what you then decide to eat for dinner and then fight about that too. And you don't want that to affect how you handle when the electric bill comes in. Although, wait, it's about finances. So, you know what I mean? You don't want it to affect like all of the other aspects of your relationship just because you're fighting about one part of it. And then another thing is that you don't want to spend all of your time working on one part of your relationship and then not really focusing on the rest of them. When you are working at a company, you might be focused on this one project, but there's other people in the company to work on the rest of the company. It's not like a company, it's like a small business.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a total small business. It's mom and pop shop, and it's just us running it. So if you and I only focus on like making soap, who's focusing on the finance part?
Yeah.
There's no one thinking about that. There's
who's
no one
selling
thinking
the
about the
product?
advertising.
Yeah.
There's no one thinking about ringing people up. There's no one thinking about restocking the shelves. We're just focused on making it. You can't do that in your relationship either. You got to focus on all the different parts, but also keep them separate so that if a disagreement does happen, or if something gets really heavy in one of those parts, it doesn't affect the others. Like, the most important thing to make sure that it doesn't get affected is the romance part, I suppose. The quality of love between each other, the quiet moments, that kind of thing. Don't let the heavy stuff affect that, because if you don't have that to come back to, that's like at the end of a hard day at work, you don't have a house to come back to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you gotta really, really separate it. I can be mad AF at you, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna let that anger stop me from cuddling up with you on the couch. Hi, Bento, are you done screaming now? He walked in and I'm like, are you done? Because I know that they've heard you. Hi, baby. So, yeah, basically that's what I was saying, and I sort of forgot what I was saying, so you take over.
You're always going to be working at one thing or another in a relationship or at a job when you're working together. So it's always going to be a constant struggle, because every job, like you said, it's a small business. There's going to be different aspects to it that you have to work to. And you're going to have goals, set goals, make things happen, and just have fun together. That's the big thing.
I wouldn't necessarily say that you're constantly going to struggle, though, because there are so many wonderful parts of marriage and a relationship that don't feel like work, that don't feel like a struggle, that are really easy. But if you approach a marriage as something that you have to work at, that you want to grow within, and that you want to see the marriage itself flourish rather than I want to flourish within this marriage, then it's going to work. So all of that to say, marriage is a side job. And that is why we are called the side job. You know, we have day jobs. I'm doing the recap.
Yeah.
We have day jobs. We work together on side projects.
We do.
And marriage is a side job.
It is.
So that's essentially what we meant with the name. And it really just worked for me as a name. And we also named our band that because it's a side project. And so it's easy to just go, oh yeah, the side job band. Because when I try to get gigs and I'm like, oh yeah, I have a band, they're like, oh, like Noise Complaint? I was like, no, the side job. And then they automatically know it's not Noise Complaint, but it is something else I do. Yeah. So, see, I told you we'd find other little reasons that we're called the side job.
It's so many things. One of the things that we were talking about before when we were naming the band was we're big Leverage fans, the TV show. Yeah. And every episode is labeled the blank job or the cookie job or whatever. So it's the side job.
Yeah. Also, update on the meowing. Now T'Challa is meowing because Bento's right here and refuses to go play with him. That's what happens when you have two boys that love to play together and love to be jerks.
Bento, why aren't you playing with your brother?
So yeah, we're gonna put this on the podcast thing, and it's just gonna have meowing in the background. I don't think I can remove that, but whatever. Enjoy. Yes. Enjoy. So I hope you guys have really had fun with us today and learned, like, I guess why we're called the side job, but it also fed into some advice, some relationship advice. And again, on this channel, we are absolutely open-minded. Any relationship counts. We'll talk about our marriage, but this isn't just about marriage. Every relationship is valid. As many people or as few people are in a relationship as you desire. Every relationship is valid. Every type of relationship is valid. Oh, yeah. So I just wanted to always have that disclaimer so people just know. We're talking about marriage, but we mean it in a broad relationship way. Yes. So yeah.
I'm loving doing this with you. Thank you for having me in this
world. Yes,
I'm
so glad that you're a guest on my podcast.
No.
The way you said that.
As a coworker, as cohabitant, as a husband, as a friend, as a everything. Just thank you for going on this.
Oh, you're welcome. No, thank you for being on this excellent adventure with me, because that's really what this is. We should have named it the Excellent Adventure Podcast, but we would have gotten cease and desist.
Yes, I'm sure that there's someone out there like that would have been like, no.
No, that's Bill and Ted.
Yes.
So, yeah, hopefully you guys are really having fun with us. We have a lot more episodes coming. If you have topics that you want us to cover, make sure that you comment on whether you're listening to the podcast or you're watching on YouTube. Make sure that you let us know in comments or whatever podcasts allow you to do. Follow us on social media and tell us there if you have topics that you want us to cover. So we love to talk, apparently.
If you want us to go more in depth on working together as a relationship or as a couple.
Which we plan to, but if you want like specific episodes, just go ahead and ask. We love taking requests.
Write it down. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. It's always a pleasure. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Like she said, don't forget to hit that subscribe button or follow, whatever it is on whatever platform you're watching. If there's a 5-star, hit that. If there's a thumbs up, hit that. Whatever there is, just show some love, show some support, and we really appreciate it.
And then maybe one day the side job will be the main job.
Ooh.
Nah, I'll always have my other jobs.
Oh, yeah. But thanks for watching. I'm Sean.
And I'm Jen.
And we're out of here. Bye.